Thanks. Of course, that's just one of several projects in honor of the 10th anniversary of 9/11 in Kentwood. James Kristan has made it his mission to make sure people never forget that day. His hand airbrushed truck has thousands of dollars in memorial artwork. This year, he added the names of all the people killed aboard Flight 93. He plans to show those names at a memorial service in Pennsylvania this year. Then there's his countless collectibles and even a tattoo. He says he does it all for those heroes from the attacks who don't have a memorial yet.
It puts a face on it. It puts a face on that big crater in the ground with nothing left. It puts the 40 faces of the people that died on Flight 93 on the whole thing there, on the whole story.
Kristan says after this he plans on scaling back, but first he'll be at the ribbon cutting for the Flight 93 Memorial this weekend. He also plans to be at the ribbon cutting for the memorial at the World Trade Center once that is finished.
I think that I was chosen to just make sure people never forget 9/11. You know, if that sounds weird to you, it sounds weird to you, but I think God chose me for this.
Jim Kristan received the message shortly after the attacks and painted a reply.
Section by section over a 10-year period.
On his truck.
Look at this lid right here. So what I did was I'm putting faces on where that hole is, the 40 faces of the warriors of Flight 93. That's what I'm doing.
Kristan and his truck will soon return to Shanksville.
I'm just like an electrical wire, and God's current's coming to me saying, hey, carve this bird.
No ordinary bird.
I've been grinding like a madman.
But an American.
Oh, I was eating sawdust for like 3 days.
Bald eagle.
It's just soaring. This bird is just soaring. It's just flying along.
Ada chainsaw artist Bear Clawed Jack Eppinga carved the eagle.
Oh, look at the grain in the beak on that beak. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
Out of a single piece of maple.
I did the fine parts.
Kristan put on the finishing touches.
If you look right here, there's moss in the bark. I'm a detail guy, so I put the detail and I think that complements it.
This weekend, he'll donate the eagle to the Flight 93 Memorial Chapel.
The warriors of Flight 93 went up and fought those terrorists to their death. And if they wouldn't have done that, they did that to preserve our freedom and our way of life.
A fight and freedom, forever honored by an eagle, hand-carved in Kent County.
So I'm sure the story will be told.
In Kentwood, Peter Ross, WZZM 13 News.
My name is James Kristan. I'm the president of the West Michigan 9/11/01 Memorial for the last 8 years. On the morning of 9/11/01, you can see the World Trade Center's off to my left being hit. Firefighters at the base crying, huddled together. A tragic day in American history. Now, if you'll take a closer look at my art, you'll notice that there's a black angel on my passenger door. You might wonder, why is there a black angel on my passenger door? It's in memory of C.C. Lyles, who was a flight attendant on Flight 93. The terrorists on board Flight 93 told C.C. Lyles that she could go ahead on the intercom and let the passengers know that they could use their cell phones. So that's why she's my hero, because she kept the passengers on Flight 93 comfortable until their last seconds. I cried, you cried, America cried, the international community cried. But there's somebody I'd like to show you who cried the most. The person who cried the most on September 11th was the Statue of Liberty. And if you look closely enough, you can see she's still crying now. There's a tear getting ready to run down her cheek. And by the way, this is my everyday truck. This is a willow stump that you see at the base of the eagle, and this is very stealthy American patriotic eagle. And at the base is a willow stump that has been carved with a chainsaw. We have a flag, Flight 93 commercial airliner, and a big 9-3 so that people know it was United Airlines Flight 93. Thank you. The eagle you see was carved with a chainsaw, and then it was finished with a hand grinder. I put about 70 hours into it, hand grinding the eagle, and then I stained it. And that eagle there is on a pedestal to represent America on 9/11, and the reason its wings are up in the air is because when the terrorists struck that horrible morning, the American eagle again representing America, was brought to life. It woke us up really quick. So the eagle's jumping up and getting ready to put some American pound in onto the terrorists. This is some of my 9/11 art. Thank you. My name is Jim Kristan again, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about these plaques. These plaques are made from scratch. They were not store-bought. They were made from custom-ordered Michigan poplar wood and then Taunton lumber of Grand Rapids. They machined the wood to specifications. And then Mercury had Art Gallery from East Grand Rapids was kind enough to assist me to put the frames together, 39 frames for the 40 people that were lost on 9/11. 39 frames, 40 people. There's a husband and a wife on one of the plaques. I spent 3 months during the winter of 2008 sanding for 3 months each corner meticulously on each frame. So they're very smooth, and it was definitely what I would call a labor of love, so that the heroes of 9/11 are not forgotten. So there's 39 of these, and the frames, what I want to do with this art is put a face on 9/11/01 to the international community. How I put the face on 9/11 is because each person that was on Flight 93 is listed by age, their occupation, who they left behind, and where they were flying on the morning of September 11th, 2001. Thank you.
Well, the anniversary of September 11th is just around the corner, a day that always brings back a lot of painful memories and feelings for Americans. For many of us, though, 9/11 is not something we think about every day. But for one man in West Michigan, it has become a passion to an incredible level. He does it to make sure nobody ever forgets. From the tattoo on his arm to his airbrushed Dodge Ram.
We're all crying as Americans and as a nation and as the international community. But you know who's crying the most? Statue of Liberty right here.
James Kristan, a janitor and retired Army vet from Kentwood, has devoted the last 9 years of his life to September 11th.
I'm living 9/11 every day. So, I mean, just try to understand my little sick, twisted, sad world. It's sad. So, you know, it's just, I want people to get, I want to get the word out.
It starts with his basement. You'll find all kinds of memorabilia he's collected from around the world and online. Coins, books, and urn.
That was going to be my thing, you know, like people have things for MS or cancer or whatnot. Mine is so that people don't forget 9/11.
His collection spills over to this warehouse.
It's another thing to remind people.
He has no direct personal connections to the attacks, didn't lose a family member, but maybe that's what makes his passion so interesting. So why does he do it?
It's for each and every American. But what it's really for above and beyond is our children. I see little children that weren't around, so they'll never know about 9/11.
His hobby goes beyond collecting. Kristan spent 4 years making a documentary about the victims of the attacks. Stuff that gets him choked up even now, like an interview after a firefighter's funeral who was burned at Ground Zero.
How would you deal with that? There was nothing left of that firefighter. Nothing.
He hopes one day this stuff will come out of his basement and be on display, so nobody will forget.
It was a tragic day in American history, and that it should be remembered on the day that it happened. People should take off from work. Just remember on that day. Just remember.
Nearly every year, James makes the trip to Pennsylvania to fold the flag at the Flight 93 Memorial.
That was ABC's Aaron Kotersky. A retired soldier in Kentwood is determined to make sure that people remember 9/11 and reflect on what those events have done. Over the past 9 years, 53-year-old James Kristan has collected enough 9/11 memorabilia to fill a warehouse.
I got some Lake Michigan stones.
From the Manhattan-shaped garden he's built in his front yard.
The 9/11 healing tree that I planted, it's placed exactly where the north and south tower would have been.
To the custom paint job on his truck in the driveway.
It shows the World Trade Centers being hit and the towers blowing up.
To the tattoo on his arm.
The north and south World Trade Center.
53-year-old James Kristan is consumed with September 11th, 2001.
Like everybody else, I was very angry, but very quickly the anger turned into like a mission.
Kristan, a retired Army sergeant, made it his mission to collect everything he could find that relates to the 9/11 attacks.
It's anything and everything from magazines, newspapers, music of that era, drywall from the World Trade Centers. This was recovered off of a bus at Ground Zero.
He has enough items to fill a warehouse, and now he wants help building a memorial and learning center to display his collection.
Where people can learn and talk and discuss and reflect and mourn and cry and laugh and tell stories and just do what they do about reflecting on 9/11. And that's when I'll go on with my life. Here's a book, the 9/11 Commission Report. I've heard that word crazy used a million times, but you know what? It's good crazy. It's a good cause crazy.
Kristan is trying to line up donors to help him build a learning center. He says he used all of his savings collecting the items and filming a 9/11 documentary.